You're already stronger than you think. The only thing you have to stop doing is to play like a farmer. Welcome warriors, it's Burgas here. I'm glad you're here because today we're unlocking the real free-to-play mindset that will help you grow faster. And I will start with the first very important mindset in Call of Dragons, and this is fighting. You just in these times in Call of Dragons, after close to 3 years, I mean, I really don't remember how much time I'm currently playing this game. If I go over the VIP, 964 days. After this time, just the fighting become one of the most important thing in this game, and the value that you're going to receive by fighting is crazy. Here we're not talking about, okay, today I have this feeling that I wanna fight a little, tomorrow I may not have this feeling. We're talking about just what you're receiving from the fighting, and I think fighting is the way how the Call of Dragons actually measure the player's activity. So the game trying to actually give more value for this type of players. What I mean by that is with the merit shop opening, you just going to have so much value in this one. We're having merits, we're having pets, you can buy pet skills. Some of the pet skills is absolutely wild, and you can sell this pet skill and get decent amount of pet coins. In same time, you can actually get a pet skill that you're currently needing. So the merit shop is the first place for the pet skills, because I go outside every day. I have like 5 warrants. I go and I try to, get some pets. Currently, I'm working over my flaming manticore. This is the pet. Still need to do some regenerating over this pet, but as you can see, it's very slow process, and the pets you're catching is going to give you something like this. All these pet skills here is not going to give you that much pet coins. It's just going to give you the talent skill, something that you're looking for, but not the pet skill. The best thing I can actually, oh my god, this one is actually good one. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is from the merit shop, you're going to get pet skills that you can sell and get decent amount of pet coins. In same time, if you go and try to gather pets or catch pets with your warrants, they're not just going to give you enough pet coins. The majority of the cases when I free the pet and I don't need this skill is something like 16. In the best case scenario, it's like 16 when I release this pet. So fighting and getting merits is extremely important if you want your pet to be the best performing pet on the battlefield, period. With the new updates in Call of Dragons right now, farming merits is becoming even more important because we're having decorations. In the decorations, you're going to receive different type of decorations, which, it can be they are game changing. Not it can be game changing. They are game changing. Believe it or not, if you don't focus over this new feature in Call of Dragons, you're going to have hard times against the rest of the players who is actually focusing over this feature. So what I mean by that is when you go and check it out, right now I have 5 decorations that are active. Each of them are giving me 0.5%. One of them is actually giving me 1.2%. This is the Legion attack. But on top of that, all these levels of the decorations is just going to give you more Legion attack, at one point damage do. Now for this one that you can actually receive by fighting and getting merits is also very nice one and attractive. At one point at level 7 is going to give you like 0.6% Legion defense, and at level 9 you're going to get 3% Legion attack and Legion defense. Obviously this is a decoration that you can purely get with merits and level up with merits. For rest of the decorations, the things are a little more, you have to spend gems, you have 1 free pool per day. I mean, it's a little more complicated and more buying the bundle way, let's say it like this, buying the bundle way. but this one can actually give you damage do like 3%, which is crazy, and the Legion attack and defense can go crazy. But still, even if you're free-to-play player, you can get this one and actually get like 3% Legion attack and defense, and if you have like 3 of this one, you can get like 9% attack and defense just from 3 decorations, and you can use 5. So it's extremely important right now to be active as much as you can in point of merits. And the best way is obviously the seasonal map is strongly depend is, are you going to have some fights right now? But the game actually think over this thing. By over this thing, I mean the game provides us with Battle of Abyss. I think this is maybe the biggest W that currently we're having in this game, where for 15 minutes, normally I make around 300k merits. So if I do 2 fights, normally it's like 2 fights, 15 minutes every 2 hours and a half or something like this. If I make just 2 fights, I'm going to get 600k merits, and this is going to help me to buy decent amount of stuffs that are presented in the merit shop, in form of decorations, in form of pet skills. And obviously on the last place I can actually say is something that everybody are familiar, and this is getting some elixirs. I mean, getting 50k elixirs, getting 20k elixirs, 5k elixirs, all these things is just going to help you when the fight starts to sustain more on the battlefield, to be present, to have more fun in Call of Dragons. So the fightings in the game, it's becoming more mandatory from this to just walk in the game and send your farming heroes and walk out. You know, something like a maybe 2-3 minutes activity. Right now the players are needing to be more active in Call of Dragons if they want to achieve some good account, to be, how to say it, to be valuable on the battlefield. Yes, resources are important, but keep in mind you can have farms. I'm currently having farms. I have my Burgas mini, I have Burgas farm. All these farms is just filling my pockets of my main account with wood, ore and gold. So resources at this point is not that important. It's important the other valuable items you can receive. Imagine if you, for example, miss this event. I mean, you're going to miss this decoration that is going to give you like 0.5% Legion attack. All this small percentage, especially for the pro players. Pro players are looking every single percentage and they measure and they try to get everything. I mean, especially for example, the Roots of War city skin. There were so many people even switching alliances, kingdoms, everything, just to have the better shot over the city skin. So we're talking about this type of players. But even if you want to be just from the normal players, getting 2.5% more attack is just very, very nice. That's why the fights are required. On top of that, obviously the most important thing is actually winning your KVK, getting some extra shards, getting of these Yadra ambers and etc., buying some pet skills. Now some people actually told me that they're gathering these Yadrash ambers, and after this they're buying some pet skills that they sold on the shop, and like this to make little more coins in Call of Dragons, which is completely fine. Everybody decide how they want to spend their coins, ambers, whatever, any currency in Call of Dragons. But how you can get so much merits? Let's start from there, because I think this is a very interesting question that people have to focus. Yeah, it's important. Yeah, Burgas, it's important to have merits, but how we can get more merits? How we can get them fast? One of the ways that I'm extremely happy with is actually, as I mentioned, Battle of Abyss, but on point of KVK. If you're on the map, use any opportunity you are having when you're in defense. When your alliance is going to do some defense against some offensive alliance that is coming in your direction, and you're fighting under your alliance territory, this is the best moment where you should be like, if you can be like 24/7 online, I mean, okay, let's say not 24/7. I mean, some people are going to say, yo, Burgas, you're crazy. And they're going to be absolutely correct. But try to be as active as you can, especially when your alliance is defending. You're just going to get so much merits. Also, when your alliance are having huge presence on the battlefield, also this is a great opportunity to be active and getting so much merits. But I still believe, even because it's not depending on you, it's depending on your officers, on the gates open and all these things. So, you know, to be able to actually get some merits, you have to have opportunities to get some merits. But from what I see, just the Abyss battles that are through the week, I think it's like 4 times per week, is just enough to give you enough merits to buy everything from the shop. And by buying everything, we also include speed ups. Something other is regenerational potions. You're going to get it 2 times per week. Very, very important. From time to time, you can get some extra warrants, book of alteration, reset hero talents. I mean, this is just so much valuable things. And if you're not fighting, you're missing everything here. Basically, you're missing everything here because you're not going to be able to afford that. There is no bundles for merits. You cannot buy bundle and get merits. So here, this shop is for activity player. And this is the best way to grow power without spending. This is the best approach. It's actually fighting. When Call of Dragons actually was released, there were some other things most important. For example, like having some resources, because we was trying to keep up with building our castles. Believe it or not, even though that I was having one farm, there was a moment where I was struggling for resources just to level up my buildings. So it strongly depends at which stage you are in your Call of Dragons gameplay. If you're in Season 1 and I spoke to you like decoration pets and blah blah blah, you may have some bigger problems on your head, like from where I get resources to level up my building or speed ups or etc. But the best way to grow, because I know the majority of my audience is players who is, you know, old players in Call of Dragons. Not many new players actually watch my videos, I'm guessing. If you're a new player, let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit one like on this video. Also subscribe. Again, if you're new here, for daily Call of Dragons content, I'm making daily videos for you guys. So if you enjoyed this thing, just you can give little tip on my video with one like. And to be fair, if you only go and farm, you're basically wasting your time. Here is the thing, I actually play some other games also. I'm not only playing Call of Dragons, and it's everywhere the same way. If you just do the bare minimum, every day is like sending farming heroes and you loot of the mint or foundry or mana refinery, etc. And you just start training some troops. If you only do that, at one point you're going to start be behind, and you're going to be heavily behind. First of all, not many strong alliances are going to want to have players like this who is just logging to send their farming heroes and maybe training some troops. People are already looking the merits. The merits is the activity of the players. So nobody's going to have, you know, is want to have this type of players in their alliance. From there, if you're not in good alliance, you're not going to be able, for example, getting some VIPs, getting some speed ups, like 7 hours of speed ups and etc. You know, all these benefits to be in the strong alliance is not going to be there, like 1k VIP points right here. So you're basically going to waste your time playing this game. Seriously, I mean, if you're just logging to send gathering heroes, I mean, totally understand when there is no war time, but even if in KVK you're just sending heroes to gather, I mean, I don't shame nobody or something like this, but I strongly believe that if you're putting like some minimum how to say investment in form of time of this game, you're just going to be really behind, and you're going to see some players just going to outmatch you at one point. This is going to give you some frustration and etc. But we're not talking exactly for this, even though that this is existing. I have players that at one point was like, yo bro, I was not able to play that much, and at one point they just quit because they're very far behind. But fighting these days is something that everybody should consider, just because of the rewards, which is a game changing. We're not talking about only just speed ups to train more troops, because at one point you're going to need X amount of troops. And having this X amount of troops is going to give you great sustainability on the battlefield. If the fight go longer, you may just use some resources and, you know, help your troops. We're talking about something where the enemy legion is going to hit you more harder with the pets, with the artifacts, with the hero, with the normal attacks, with the troops. All these things is just going to be very solid for your account if you also have them. Now, for the people who is going to say, hey Burgas, what about the resources? I'm going to share with you my little strategy, or the way I'm gathering my resources with the main account. The only thing I do is just gathering mana. Obviously, I have like 638 million mana, and I have 3 farms that is gathering materials for me. At one point, I'm sending all the materials to my main castle, where, you know, woods or gold and just normal farm play. If you're not familiar with the farm play, you know, having one main account and couple farms, let me know in the comments if you're looking to have some kind of guide in this direction, or some tips and tricks how to have your farms more efficient, how to build farm, because not all of these farms is actually from same season. Some of the farms are, I don't remember actually from when, but it's not like I built my account and I built my farms. In one KVK, from what I know, you can have couple farms inside. Right now I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is in same kingdom, 4 farms. From what I know, you can have like 5 farms. But yeah, this is a topic for other videos, so let me know in the comments, are you guys interested in this type of videos? And finally, I want to point out something about fighting, and this is the biggest alliance, or the active alliance, is going to notice you. And why this is important actually is just in the strong, solid alliances. If you're a free-to-play player, or maybe WoW spender, or even mid spender, if you're active in the fighting, you can be in the top alliances, or at least not exactly on the top alliances, but you can be with the big boys. And by saying that, I mean that you're going to have way more fun with the fights, because they're going to be non-stop fighting. Now, it's like this: you fight a lot, some active alliance find you, you continue to fight a lot. Some of the best performing alliances notice you, or you just contact them and they see your stats and they catch you. And if you're enjoying fighting, you're going to non-stop getting fightings. On other side, if you're not that fighting that much, you may get even kicked from your current alliance. You're going to miss a lot of rewards and etc. I already said it in this video, but most likely you may end up in something like Dead Kingdom. And by saying not active, I mean just working 1 time per day for 2 minutes, sending gathering heroes, starting the new trainings, and this is your whole gameplay in the KVK, in the home kingdom, basically everywhere. If you're not putting any effort, you're going to miss a lot of rewards, and you're going to shoot yourself in the leg about the top alliances. And after all, you're going to contribute to your alliance more. This is also because it's a gameplay. It's not only what we're receiving as players. At the end of the day, it's also about team fight, team spirit, all these things of the team play is involved. So yeah. And at the end of the day, Call of Dragons is actually a war game. So, you know, if you're fighting in the war games, is something that normally people should do. So Yeah, I just want to point out how valuable is right now to keep fighting in Call of Dragons, how the rewards you're receiving by doing fights actually increase, and your whole progression depends on how much you're currently fighting and do you have enough merits to buy everything from the shop. And this is not the only shops that I show you. I mean, this is not the only shops. We're having for example the Battle of Abbey shop, where you can get some CP points, you can get some experience books, also, if I remember right, also the regenerational potions. There is just some other shops that also ask you to buy with merits, so merits is maybe become the most important thing in Call of Dragons, obviously. So yeah guys, I hope this video gives you some idea of the importance of fighting. I'm going to put one video about the decorations if you want to get more familiar with these new things in Call of Dragons. My personal opinion over the percentage, some testing, some levels, basically everything you want to know for the decorations in Call of Dragons. The one you can get from the merit store, the one you can purchase, the gems, the everything. There is one video here, you can go and check it out. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.